Hello all and welcome to another Caffeinated Entertainment video. It's Art here with another Caffeinated Entertainment video. Boy, I screwed that up. But we're going to leave that in because that's comical. This is the book review for 0-10 by Raymond Benson. It's Raymond Benson's first James Bond novel. And our first video on James Bond, and I'm going to explain to you how the Bond days are going to work at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that at the end of the video. Let's dive right into the book. First of all, Raymond Benson gets Bond. He writes a contemporary for the time. You have to remember the novel was written came out in 1997, so the novel is over 20 years old. But for the time, it is a contemporary Bond. It is in those same lines as the Pierce Brosnan Bonds. The action, he does something very smart in that he has a time counter to the handover of Hong Kong. If you don't know, the British handed over Hong Kong in 1997 back to the Chinese due to a treaty that was signed almost 100 years previous. This was a real historical event. He based the book on this historical event. The Bond villain is a villain cookie cutter formula, almost too formulaic. Kind of reminded me of a Hugo Drax Goldfinger mix. Maybe he was intent on doing this because this was his first outing, but that's what I feel. A lot of his other books get a lot better, a lot quicker. Let's put it that way. But he does something smart in 0-10, which is at the heading of every chapter, he has 0 minus however many days it is until handover. So automatically you get the ticking time bomb. The ticking clock of the handover looms over the entire book and almost forces the action forward. Very, very good. Very, very succinct. And I bet led to a good amount of pacing in the book. And a good amount of climactic rocket fuel push. Let's put it that way. The one thing I will say is the love making, the traditional Bond making love scene, the traditional Bond love making scenes. There we go. Tripping over my own tongue today. Are present in the book. However, they're a bit cringeworthy for my taste. They're a bit too graphical for my taste. I feel there was a better way he could have done it. He didn't have to describe everything. He could have just said something like, and they made love into the night, or whatever. There's many, many ways you can do it without going into minute detail as he does. Now, I will say this, when I first read these books, when I was a teenager, these scenes were some of my favorite, but we all know what hormones do to people. But as an adult, it's like, these are a little cringeworthy. These are a little too expansive. But apart from that, that's really my only... That and it being a bit too formulaic are really my only two critiques of 0-10, because otherwise this book proves Raymond Benson gets James Bond. Raymond Benson was a perfect continuation author on the heels of John Gardner, who decided to retire from the role after writing 15 novels. Most of which you have seen reviewed on this channel. I feel like the henchmen are better than the villain himself. The henchmen are more formidable than the villain himself. And the car isn't as glamorous as I think it should have been. Let's put it that way. Do I think... Obviously, I'm going to continue reading on with the series because it's been so long since I read the series. And we have my favorite part coming up, which is the Union Trilogy. I love those. And of course, I'll read the short stories as well. I love those too. So, as I struggle on what to give it, it's a read it, own it, love it on my personal scale. It is a read it, and if you like James Bond, you're going to love it. But I don't know if this is the most closest to the cinematic Bond that you're going to get. So if you like the cinematic Bond, you may like this book. If you prefer the literary Bond, you will find a lot to not like about this book. I love Raymond Benson's writing, but this is his weakest of all his novels for me. And I do feel like that was because it was his first of all his novels, so that had a lot to do with it. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, knowing full well, on the GoodReads scale, knowing full well that it's going to get better, at least from my recollection. It's going to get better. We'll see on the reread whether it gets better. It's the first time that they're reviewed on this channel, so you're going to love that. It's a read it, own it, love it on my personal scale. Read it if you like Bond, is my reviewer opinion. And next up for us in the Bond book review market will be Colonel's Son by Robert Markham, aka his actual name, Kingsley and Me. Now, let me go into how the Bond days are going to work. Bond days are probably going to be separate from the days you're used to getting, and they will happen periodically. And they will happen on Thursdays more than likely. Obviously, this week they couldn't happen on Thursday because Thursday was Thanksgiving, and I'm not doing a video on Thanksgiving. But look for me to review all the Bond books, including the Dynamite graphic novels. Look for me to review the Bond movies, do rankings and lists, and review the Bond games. We'll talk about Project 007 if and when. I'm going to say when it comes out, because I do believe IOI Interactive will be dropping it on us. Hopefully in 2022, more than likely in 2023. And of course, we're going to be reviewing Anthony Horwitz's new novel after we read Trigger Mortis again and Forever and a Day again, and then we'll be ready. So we've got a lot of videos planned for Bond Day, but if you're not here for Bond Day, it's not going to interfere on your plans. It's not going to interfere with what happens on the channel. You're going to get to see more gameplay footage. I intend to review the PS3 Bond games. I can't really review the PS2 Bond games, even though they are some of my favorite, because, even though I have them, getting capture card data from them would be a pain in the tuchus. It's already going to be hard to get capture card data from the PS3, but I'm going to make things work. Look for the video game reviews sometime to begin in January. So look for that to happen. Sometime in January is my shoot for date. It might be February. But like I said, the Bond days are going to be periodic on Thursdays. I will announce in the CRU when we're going to have a Bond day. Look for that. That will also be where the deep dive into No Time to Die, the latest Bond film, is going to be. And then after I deep dive it, that's when we're going to review each one of the 24 James Bond previous movies in release order. That's how we're going to do it, and that's how it's going to be done. So, without further ado, I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more, please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. And I hope you come with me on the journey through the Bond days, because I think they're going to be fun. It gives me a chance to give myself an outlet for one of my true passions, which is James Bond. And it also gives me a chance to create more content for you, and I hope you all like it. Game streams will be coming as well once I set everything up, more than likely also probably in January. But without further ado, happy reading. I'll see you again soon, and peace.